Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Ian Van Zan, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Thank you. Hello, and welcome to the Owwh Show right here on BKS1 Radio. It is your girl, Latoya Chanel, and I am happy to be back in the building for another week. I know we've had a couple of weeks off. There's been vacations and holidays, and were you at a parade? We had a whole parade and concert, and it was wonderful, and we'll come back and talk about that because I do not want to do a long intro today. Why? Because I have amazing guests who are going to be co-hosting with me in studio, and yes, you've seen their faces before, and you are about to see their faces again. You know why? Because we have started a series here along this healing journey, and this series is about flags, everyone, and I know you've seen it before. We started on red flags, and we're going to continue on red flags today. Why? Because it's in popular demand, and you guys have asked for it. So we got some feedback from our first show, and everybody loved the fact that we were talking about red flags and boundaries and some of our other topics. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I want to know how you all are doing. Make sure you talk to me in the chat. If you're on Facebook Live, tune in, chime in, do whatever it is you do so that you can be a part of this conversation. But in the meantime, I'm going to get to my guests that are sitting right here. These beautiful ladies that are right here to my left and to my right. Please help me welcome to the physical studio, not even virtual studio. To my left, we have Ange over here, and to my right, we have Minway, everybody. Welcome to the virtual studio. I'm so happy to have you both in studio with me today. It is amazing. This is great. The vibe, the energy, everything we're doing. I love the way all of the colors are looking on screen. This is absolutely amazing. But welcome, guys.
Thank you so much. We are excited to be part of your show again, that you invited us back.
Yes.
It was such a great kickoff show, the first one, talking about red flags, but the energy is different when you're
in
inside
person.
the
Oh yeah.
studio.
Oh
it's
yeah.
different,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Minway?
Absolutely. We're coming back, and but some drinks, though. I mean,
Okay, so next time.
tequila.
All right, listen. Okay, that's it. We were actually talking about that before the show, and I was like, I'm not sure. But now that I know, we'll definitely make sure to do that for next time. And I'm sure we'll be really, really open about this topic with some tequila next time. So yeah, I'll have to hold back a little bit. But in the meantime, like I said, you guys had received some feedback from the last show, right?
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
Oh my goodness, the feedback was absolutely phenomenal, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
We love that the men were chiming in and sending us messages about boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And so today it's all about doing a quick recap, because we should all have boundaries. It's not gender based. However it is that you identify, we want you to know that we should all have boundaries. And so we're not going to limit ourselves when it comes to the topic. But one of the things that resonated with people last time was the topic about self. It begins with an introspection, and Minwé said it in the first session. She spoke about awareness.
Yeah.
If we are not doing the work when it comes to being aware of what it is that we are doing personally, because it all boils down to, what have you not grown from?
Right.
What have you not healed?
Right.
What is it that is still holding you back, that you keep repeating these patterns? And it all begins with the internal work that you have to do.
Yeah, because red flags, everyone thinks external. Like you said, it's about introspection. It's about looking internally to see why you're not noticing these red flags, how you missed these red flags. And a lot of it has to do with trauma and PTSD and other things that have gone on in our life, like you said, that we're not healed from. So it's not just an external issue, it's an internal issue. So as a part of this healing journey, you really have to start there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's where it begins. Meanwhile, did I miss anything?
No, you never miss anything.
Okay. All right, listen. So we're on it tonight. All right, so let's get into it, right? So one of the first points that we said we were going to cover was limiting beliefs, right? So limiting beliefs. Let's start there, Minwei. Let's get into
so
it.
for those of you who are into neurolinguistic programming or programación neurolingüística or PNL, you've heard this before, and well, I'm going to make it very simple today, and it is about those stories that we are telling ourselves every day. And they could be small stories or big stories, and they could be simple or they could be complex. An example of a small story would be, I'm very bad at math.
Ooh.
Right?
So should I stop saying
I'm bad.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm bad with names. So and then we go into medium stories, right? In complexity. I am coming back from I'm coming from a Latin American country, so for my Latino friends, you know that moms will say if you leave the house and it's raining and you don't have a jacket, you're gonna get sick. Right? And then if you're sick and then you drink ice, you're gonna get more sick.
Really?
Yes.
That's a thing?
And so, yeah, it's a weather thing. It's a weather thing. And then
Is that a thing? Okay.
Yes, if you're walking and have no shoes, oh, you're gonna catch a cold because you have no shoes, right? Like, and so,
culturally, yes.
yeah, so there's a lot of cultural things there, and these are beliefs. They are not necessarily based on scientific proof of any sort. It's like, I believe this is happening. And so then we have more complex beliefs, such as, I might not be worthy of love. I was growing up and I was told that I would never be loved and accepted. And then I take my belief that could be a very simple sentence that sounds just like, almost inoffensive, almost a bit not even serious. But then if I take that to another level, then it becomes a statement, and the statement becomes a dogma. And then I believe and grow around that dogma. And the problem with growing up with this is that in psychology, it's actually called the Pygmalion effect.
Say that again?
Pygmalion effect.
Okay.
And it's part of the self-fulfillment prophecy. And the self-fulfillment prophecy, so they're not identical, but they're part of the same family. And it goes with how much are we telling ourselves daily that goes into our subconscious mind that starts dictating the way we now behave. And then it dictates what we do and how we feel. And then what happens is that everything around it starts aligning, including what are we calling. And some people say like, oh, this is like, magic, or no. This is not pixie dust. This is not magic. Look it up. This is Psychology 101, and this is the same principle as if you have a child and you tell your child every day, oh, how dumb you are, how clumsy you are. There's a moment where this child is going to behave dumb and clumsy. You have said it so much, it became part of the story that you're telling, the narrative that you're telling. So neurolinguistic programming is neuro, brain, the computer, an electronic device to say, if this, then that, it's zeros and one. We have the same thing. If it's already a known path for me, I know what to do. That's if and then. It's always the same. It's if then. What if you change the underlying statement of all of those if then, and you challenge them? And
powerful. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ange. Yes.
I love that Minue brought that up, because I'm going to tell you, the mind is so powerful.
Yes, it is.
Mind is to delete, distort, and store information. Do you know that your mind really can't truly process words. Words are the codification system that we use. What it does is that it will codify the experience, situation where you say, oh my God, I felt through this before.
Yeah.
But you will say, no, this is the first codification.
Mm-hmm.
You will behave and you will act in a way based on the thing yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because neural behave and create patterns that create the same beliefs that you grew up with.
Right.
That's the beauty of it, that you can question them.
Right.
Just question.
It's
That's
the
what it
importance
is.
of the importance of
self-talk.
self-talk.
Yeah.
When we say things like I'm bad at math, you are terrible at math, right? Change it to a positive. Yeah.
And it's a good news is that many people said it wasn't a switch. It was like of a little something and a little news. Yes.
Isn't it all?
Absolutely. Let's not use that.
We have a really change my up. That partner came in and it's like it's some sort of
Put it in the back of your brain. It's like a filing cabinet. For those of you who may be too young to remember filing cabinet, that's what your mind does. It will store something that happened in the past, and so you'll bring it up into the new relationship.
Absolutely.
And so you'll repeat the same story because you think everybody is the same. Everybody is not the same. We will measure people with the same measuring stick. And what you do not realize is that everybody deserves a clean slate.
Absolutely. Including yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
Including yourself. And you know what? And you should be wiping the slate clean. Good day. You said absolutely since I opened my eyes this morning.
That's right.
That's your clean slate.
Listen, every day
That's
I
your
wake
clean
up,
slate.
I always say, people, even in academy, I'm grateful.
Yes.
I already began my day in gratefulness. I don't care if the day goes.
That is your time to start. Like you said, you don't believe in these quantum leaps to make changes. No. Change our self-talk. Let's make a decision to ask ourselves the question, like you just mentioned, to check yourself. Start to think about what you're thinking about.
Yes, of course.
Why would it be? And for many years I did this, but there goes this in, there goes my programming. I hate Mondays. If I hate fill in the blank, what happens? Body aches, headaches. Let's explain why it's just Monday, and then waking up, because the exact words. When I wake up, be careful, because one day you might not wake up. There's nothing light about them. Right. And so people, please know that this conversation might not happen in this. Yes, it's not a word, it's a thought. We're made of energy.
God, oh my God, that is so powerful. Can you please repeat? People are looking for solutions. Yes. And again, and some things are very simple, some things are more complicated, but the point, how to change limiting beliefs and how limiting beliefs that we're talking about. So can you please repeat that one more time for everyone?
Absolutely. That is attached to a thought. That is attached to a feeling. That because we're holistic and physical and spiritual, always, and if one of them is misaligned, love, you're not going to accomplish what you want because one is misaligned. So no, we align them, yes. The words that come out of us are pristine. And it's one of the 4 principles of Don Miguel Ruiz, let your words be, and it's not pixie dust. Go and study quantum physics and go and study about atoms. We are energy. So now what's happening is, by the law of attraction, sick. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be sick. I didn't say this. Philosophers many centuries ago said this: nothing from nothing comes. I'm calling that thing that I'm running away from. So in our linguistic programming, we could be
being
healthy.
Healed.
I want to be healthy. I want to be healed.
So here, oh no, I don't want this. I don't want this. But the fact that you're saying this,
that's exactly right. Exactly.
Right.
And in relationships,
thank you for checking me. Sorry, this, and I don't want to do. Right. So thank you. Yes, that's I heard
that's
you.
That's your conviction right there. Which coaches? We were delivering a session online, and there was this other coach. Amazing question. Minuet, what did he ask?
I remember. So, what are you looking in a guy? And then, I want him to. I was like, okay, yeah, that's more specific. Okay, got it. Yeah. And I want it to be, wait. I want him to be available. Okay, now that's important.
That's important.
That's a priest.
We'll send you, if you're vague, it will send you exactly what you asked for. And then you're like, I don't get it. God, but he'll send you a priest. And then you're gonna say, "Oh my goodness, that's not what I asked for."
That's not what I asked for. He's completely unavailable. I can
not what you don't want,
right?
With what it is that you do want,
right?
Then by what it is that you are saying. What's the story? What's the program? It's like a broken record. What's your broken?
Also psychology, and it's called selective perception. And for those of you, let's put a car and it's red and it's this whatever brand. You go to the street, suddenly everybody has your car. So it's almost like if you are only seeing, of course, right? And so what happens is this: when we are not conscious of this that we are asking, this that we want, the best future partner for you, passing in front of you, but you won't see this person. What you have identified is what you don't want. Guess what you're going to see?
Right. Everything you don't want.
And listen, I'm always making fun of her because we're stop doing what they're doing. They're drinking and they just like go like this. And she will pass in the middle, and everybody will go fixing whatever. It's like, Auntie, oh my God, did you see the guy?
And she doesn't see anybody.
No.
Like if she doesn't see anybody.
So handsome. Which one? The other one. What guy? The one.
That just happened this weekend. We were at a friend's event. It was like a pool party type of thing, and this guy came over to ask. Because nothing is random, and it's so true. So the guy comes over and he asks for several things, and so Minue is like, Angie, that guy in an open place. It was at a very nice community, and they had the pool and everything else, and so he wasn't from the party per se.
But he still keeps asking you.
There's nothing strange on that.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet. I appreciate it.
Witnesses. He went directly to you. Not to the rest
so no,
of
that's
us,
not
like,
random at all.
No, there was nothing random. Like, he was cute. I'm just saying.
You be a coach. And so we ended up having this just amazing conversation about relationships, believe it or not, and red flags. But he said, you will not see the person who's in front of you until you haven't fully understood. Like, I know I'm in a place where I've done the work, and I said, I've healed. And he says, well, you never truly heal. It's a journey.
It's a journey.
And I said, yes, of course, I know that it's a journey, but I know that there are I had been seeing or whatever, and then I realized, that this person needed to go through their own journey. And so I said, for me, it was more important to let it go completely and allow the person to heal.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm worth it. I know that I'm worth having somebody that has already started their journey and is working on themselves. Because one happy person, I cannot make anything to you. You are in charge and in control of how you feel, of what you do, and how you react.
Yep.
What I can control is now what I am saying and how I'm behaving and the things that I'm doing and how I'm continue on their growth process as well. Because it's not just about red flags, it's about the green flags. A person who wants to be with you can see that then for me to be selfish and want to stay in a place where I know growth can't happen. That is not healthy.
No, it's not.
And we are not taught that.
No, we're not.
We're taught to stay quiet and stay with the devil you know than the devil you don't know.
Yep.
That is an erroneous thought.
Yep.
And it's a belief.
With them and as women, stick with them and nurture them and help them and do this and do that. Yeah, that's something we're taught. That's not only is it a cultural thing, but it's gender based.
Oh,
that's what we're supposed to do.
Yes, of course. And I want all of you to know who are listening to us that this does not just happen in heterosexual relationships.
No.
It happens with all relationships.
No.
This is not just that belong to the LGBTQ plus community, and they are experiencing the same issues.
Absolutely. I do too. Absolutely.
Hence,
absolutely.
This is where intersectionality occurs. We have similar experience.
Absolutely. This is great. So with limiting beliefs, that was actually our first point, which we've been on now for I guess we can have a whole show on this. But so I just want to move on for a little bit to Marvel syndrome, to the superhero syndrome, because I feel like we introduced limiting beliefs. We went through it in detail. We have some solutions that we talked about in detail. If you guys need to play this back to get to that, fine. You know, it is what it is. Listen to it, study it, get it in your system, get it in your spirit. I was just convicted a few minutes ago, twice, but whatever. We'll come back to that. So, but I want to get into this Marvel syndrome, this superhero complex that we seem to have.
All right, so I'll start and then I'll pass the.
Go ahead. That's your favorite subject.
Well, I'm just into superheroes, but it was because of my husband and my son that they were like very good into Marvel and then DC. And
Okay.
so, I'm a fan myself. You know, like
I am too.
you know,
I am too.
Wonder
Yeah.
Woman is my thing, and I
Yeah.
know the whole thing and watch all the movies. And one of the things that people were saying is, oh, like the superheroes. So they never get hurt. They never afraid. They never like, no. It doesn't work like that. No, actually, they are afraid. And that's something I like about Wonder Woman, by the way. I don't know if we have any Wonder Woman fans here listening today, but it's a big deal. So she's afraid. No, she is afraid. Of course she is.
Yeah.
And so that's my definition of bravery. It's not mine, by the way. I heard it and I'm just use it. Anyone can use it. It's not copyrighted. Bravery is being afraid and doing things despite the fact that you're afraid. So that thing of I'm fearless, I'll be worried.
It's
if
not
you are
even
fearless.
healthy to be fearless.
It doesn't exist.
It's not. No, that's not.
No,
that's not
it's
healthy.
not.
Listen,
That's
when
not
you're
healthy.
fearless, it's a pathology. Like in all
Right.
seriousness, that's a pathology,
Yeah.
right? Because you're not feeling the fear when you're supposed to feel fear.
Yeah.
One time we were coaching in our workshops for the confident public speaker, a policeman. And then we spoke about being fearful and fearless. And he said, if I am fearless, I'm negligent and I lose my life.
Absolutely.
So no. You're in
absolutely.
the savannah. The lion is coming, right? Like the gazelles are coming. What do? You run with the gazelles. The lion is coming. He's gonna eat you. Run. Like
Right.
of course you had to be afraid.
Right.
The thing is that fear puts us into these three situations: freeze, fight, or
Flight.
I said it in the wrong order. That's why I got frozen here.
Freeze, flight, or
fight.
Freeze, flight,
Freeze,
or fight.
fight,
Okay.
or flight.
Okay.
And ideally, you know when to use which ones. They're not right or wrong. They're just in different situations, things that you need to do. If you're in public speaking, please do not freeze.
Right.
And do not fight. Go for it, right?
right.
If you're in the middle of the situation where you are going to be the victim, please fly. So like flight, like take off. If you're in the middle of a situation where you are about to be extremely imprudent or unkind, freeze. Freeze, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. You know, that's okay. So it's just knowing when to use them. When we speak about superheroes, there's this misconception that, first of all, they're perfect and they are never afraid and they never freeze and they're always fighting. Wrong, that is not true. Now, this Marvel complex came from the fact that when the Marvel movie came, everyone knew then that this Marvel character, a she, that by the way wasn't always a she, it was a he, made it a she, thank you, Marvel, made it a point that it was the most powerful superhero. There is something that we do, and forgive me, I'm going to be generic right now, but I don't intend to make it a rule or that everybody. I'm just going to speak from my own experience. Culturally speaking, and as a woman, we are raised to be this Marvel character that is never tired, fights against the villains, suck it up if needed, needs to be perfect. So this great expectations of perfection tied us to a point where we're never enough. And someone tells us the slight comment of not being enough, and we put ourselves there. We take the whip and hit ourselves and say, I am not good enough.
Yeah, beat ourselves up
a
for
good
it.
enough mother, good enough daughter, good enough wife, a good enough friend, a good enough. And so what I do in exchange for that is I want to become a superhero. So I put the cape, I pretend that nothing's happening, See the problem that I'm talking about? I'm pretending that everything's fine. I'm pretending that I don't need a break. That I never have colds. I never, I'm perfect. I'm a superhero. And so then people around me now have this expectation. So then, hey, moms around the world, right? When you are saying, can I have a break? No, but you're generating this problem. Because when was the last time that you said, listen, guys, I'm going to take my cape off, yeah? Like I am all that I'm Marvel, but I'm going to take my cape off here, yeah? Because I don't feel like it. I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I don't want to. And I'm not gonna. My son told me that, and it's refreshing just to say it. I don't want to, and I'm not gonna. Right? Why? Because I need a break. Why? Because I don't feel like it. Why? Because my spirit is not aligned to it. Why? Because no, and no is a full sentence, and I don't owe you any explanation. Period. That's the why. I don't need to be the Marvel superhero for anyone.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to make it happen because we are the ones setting the expectation.
And something I heard you say is we're making it up. It's fiction, but we're doing it out of a space of insecurity. Of course. We do it out of a space of insecurity. I have to be everything. I have to get everything right. I have to get everything perfect. I have to do that because this is how people see me. This is what's expected of me. This is what I want for myself. This is the person who I want to be. So I will sacrifice any of my feelings. I will sacrifice anything emotionally that I'm feeling just to make sure that I can put myself in this box of perfection for the world. No matter what's going on internally, no matter what's happening to me or anything else I need to learn, do, be, whatever, none of that matters because I need to come forth as this picture of perfection for everyone else.
And we learn this because it's another limiting belief that we grow up with, which is vulnerability is weakness. Crying is weakness. I have people that apologize over and over. It drives Nanji and I nuts when we are in sessions and people are saying, I'm sorry that I'm crying. I'm sorry that I'm emotional. I want to tell them, love, never apologize for crying. On the contrary, congratulations. Because leaders are the ones that are vulnerable. Leaders are the ones that cry and that accept, I have emotions and I have feelings.
Yeah.
But we are carrying this for so long. And I'm sorry, men had it even worse by growing up with the stupid phrase of men don't cry.
Right.
It's like it's unfair,
Right.
it's unrealistic, and it's completely ridiculous. We all cry.
Yes, we do.
And last thing, like I think I'm speaking too much here.
No, you're
It's
fine.
like, woo.
You're fine.
You know what? We get this question a lot for public speaking as well. What do I do if I want to cry? And I said, what do you do when? What? Like, if I start speaking and I'm crying and I was like, I don't know, just, take a Kleenex and blow your boogers and wipe your face.
And keep going.
That's right.
And keep going.
Showing,
Yeah.
why would you do that? And I have heard this before. It's because if I cry during a speech or during a meeting, I'm considered weak. Oh, let's break that stigma. That's absurd. And that's like inhuman.
Listen, one of the flags that we talk about is be careful with the Super Marvel syndrome. Because perfection just does not exist.
No, it doesn't.
And the person who tries to be perfect all the time and present this picture of perfection is the one that has the most problems in the back. So be careful. I'm not saying that everyone is like that. So I'm not grouping everyone together, but be careful because what happens is that you are setting unrealistic expectations of yourself and others. I speak from a place of experience. That was me.
Yeah, me too.
So when my life fell apart, my personal life, I lost a tech company. I mean, there is a whole session where I spoke about this, where Latoya had interviewed me.
Yes.
And people were like, what happened? I thought everything was amazing and great in your life.
Yeah.
And here I am hiding because I was so ashamed because I didn't tell people that I was suffering quietly in the back because I wanted everybody to see me as strong because I've always been the go-to person. But then I realized, when in the heck did I decide to become the go-to person? I took on a role that I didn't even say I wanted. I just took it on because there was this expectation because people saw me always being perfect and strong that I took that on. So I didn't even give myself permission to be vulnerable. Minue and I are coaching all the time. We had a coaching session earlier today where we were congratulating the person for being vulnerable and not perfect.
And something, shout out to Alana Walker, who's in our chat. She said that search for perfection is exhausting.
Oh,
it's exhausting. Mentally, it's mentally draining. It's emotionally draining because you are trying to create this picture and you're trying to be perfect for everyone. And it is absolutely exhausting.
Of course
it's absolutely exhausting.
And nobody asked us to do that. You know?
Nobody, no, you put it on yourself.
Yeah. It was onto you. If people don't have the expectation that you have everything nailed down and all the T's crossed and the I's dotted like that, that's in your head. As the majority of us that, we put milestones that nobody asked us, because it all comes from insecurity. The majority of the times we're just comparing ourselves to others. Oh, let me go to Instagram. Ooh, no. I don't look like this.
So let me ask you a question. How does all of this relate to imposter syndrome?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the expert on imposter syndrome.
How does all of this relate to imposter syndrome?
Listen, the very definition of imposter syndrome is feeling like you're a fraud. You're constantly putting out this picture of perfection where you're not allowing people to see you as human. Let me tell you, the person who wrote on the chat, you're absolutely correct. It gets exhausting. But in the back of your mind, you keep saying, oh my goodness, people are going to find out. I'm not perfect. They're going to find out. My life is a mess. They're going to find out. Who wants to live with all of that in the background? Don't run that program. You're not a fraud. You feel like a fraud because there is a part of you that when you do not meet your own personal expectations, we will put expectations so high on ourselves that when we don't meet that level of expectation, we start whipping ourselves. And so we fall into the trap of, I feel like I'm a fraud. And everybody else knows I'm a fraud because I just didn't live up to this thing that I had set out to be.
Personal situation here, and I've always, prided myself and my show partner who was on the show with me for a number of years. We always pride ourselves on being transparent. And so one of the things I did, so a part of my personal story was that I had grown up in a upper middle class family for the most part. My parents did very well for themselves. And, and I was the baby and went to school, did everything I was supposed to do, blah, 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 always did. I was in dance. I was in this. I was a cheerleader. I was this. I was this. I was all of these things, right? So there was this role that I had to live up to, my family, my everything, until my senior year of high school when I got pregnant, right? And so I got pregnant my senior year of high school, and everyone was like, oh, not her. Where did that come from? You know what I mean? Not her. She wouldn't do it. That's not her. And the same thing for my ex-husband as well. We grew up very, very similar. So when we found out that we were pregnant with my son, we were children. And it was like, what are we supposed to do here? This isn't the expectation. This isn't how we're supposed to live. This is not what we're supposed to do. How do we navigate this space? So moving forward, we did everything we were supposed to do. We got married. We moved away. We purchased property. We did very well for ourselves at a very, very, very young age. I mean, very young age. We had done extremely well. And then the marriage went south and I got divorced. And so now, after marriage, 2 kids later, now I'm back to feeling like I made this mistake. and I'm not living up to who it is I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So now this whole, oh my gosh, and now everyone's going to find out all of the mistakes I made. Everyone's going to find out I'm not as great as some people thought that I was. And yes, I made what was supposed to be a bad situation better, but now everything's falling apart again. So I have to make this look good, and I have to make this, I have to, and to the point that it's exhausting with trying to make it look good is an understatement. Yeah. Because I made that my life. I made that my life as a divorcee. I made that my life as a mother. Mm-hmm. I made that my life in my career, and it all had to look good, for everyone else. And I learned the hard way and through therapy,
which is a lot of work.
Yeah, which is a lot of work. I learned the hard way, and I learned through therapy. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Good.
Stop. Just stop. You have to stop that imposter syndrome of, oh my God, this has to be perfect so everyone doesn't find out, when what you're doing is just fine.
Yes.
What you're doing is just fine. You are enough. Mm. What you're doing is enough. Mm-hmm. You don't have to appear to be greater than what you're doing. What I was doing as a mother, what I was doing in my career was enough. I didn't have to make it look any better than what it was.
Yes.
Oh
my goodness. I love that you say that.
Right. Right. And it was a huge life lesson for me. And again, it stems from insecurity. Mm-hmm. I kept going back to, you were a teen mom. Everyone expected you to fail.
Yeah.
Everyone talked about you. They expected you to fail anyway. And now you're playing into the stereotype, and you're playing into what everyone figured you were going to do anyway. And I built up this character.
Yeah.
Of who I had to be. It's like, no, that wasn't me.
Well,
no,
now that's the imposter then.
Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't fail. I didn't do anything. I'm still doing this, and I'm still doing that. Right. And it's, oh God. It can break you. It can completely
there goes the imposter. The imposter is the other one. The one that you're pretending to be. That's the imposter. Yeah. And so no wonder why you have the imposter syndrome. If you have different labels and you have to switch them all the time. And we always do this exercise with people on the imposter syndrome, and we tell them, write down, what do you say about yourself? Mm-hmm. All right. Write down what people have told you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Imagine that they are Post-its. Right? Yeah. All right. Take it and they put it here on your forehead. Mm-hmm. Take it from your forehead, right? Because somebody put it. They didn't ask you. You didn't ask for it. Boom. You get it. And you read it and you say, oh, too intense. You grab it in front of you and you say, am I intense? Mm-hmm. Maybe you are, and that's okay. Because the next question is it positive or negative? Because we're giving connotations to things. No, the connotation is whatever you want. That's right. So maybe being intense, it's for people might not be a good thing. For me, it's a good thing. No, I want to be intense. Yeah. Fantastic, darling. Keep it. All right, so you're intense. Good. Now, are you this thing? Yes. All right, so you're not imposter. You are this thing.
Yeah.
That's right. The imposter is the one that keeps the ones that deep inside knew they don't belong to you. Mm-hmm. That's the imposter one. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest things, and we're tying everything here up because now that's another red flag.
Right.
What connotation are you giving to people's actions, and with what judgment? If you were a teen and you were pregnant, who the age people think they are to tell you what is right and what is wrong? Because let me tell you something, having a baby is not a mistake.
Right.
Having a baby is a blessing from God.
Right.
And giving birth and bringing someone to life.
Right.
It's one of the mysteries of life. What a gift. It's not a mistake.
Right.
And then guess what? You fell in love. Mm-hmm. Good, bad, whatever it lasted. Mm-hmm. How many people do not fall in love ever?
Right.
You fell in love, even if it was for 5 minutes. That's not a mistake.
Right.
That is actually true.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful.
Right. And that was a part of my story, and that was a part of my journey, and that's why I'm able to give back now. That's why, nothing was there wasn't any wisdom that was lost on me. You know what I mean? I can recount every single step of the way, which is why I started a mentoring program, which is why I started giving back to the community, which is why I started talking to young ladies about how they're feeling and things that are going on and expectations, because I was being used as a vessel so that I can do that, so that I can reach others. And that's exactly what I did with it. However, at the time, in context of this conversation, the imposter syndrome, the insecurities, the trying to become this superhero, all of that, I literally went through all of it.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of it, yeah.
Many of us go through that, and many people right now listening, you might be going through one of them. And we're here to remind you today to challenge it.
That's right.
Challenge it. Challenge the status quo. Challenge the society. Challenge the comments that people made. Challenge the opinions of others that you didn't ask. Challenge them. And the challenge is it true?
Yeah.
And I'll take it one step forward, one step even further than that. When you realize what the answer is, because if it's not true, then you have to accept that you have power. Because you are the only person in control of what happens to you. Words can't hurt you. You allow that feeling that was produced because there is a belief that you have about yourself that creates now the feeling of hurt. So this is what happens. I'll give you the formula that we use when we teach overcoming the imposter syndrome. There's something that's attached to your belief and to the power of who you are. First is you have to understand who you are. Identify these beliefs that are holding you back, the labels that you gave yourself and others have given you. Take them off of you like Post-it notes, and then decide, do I want this? No. I want to get rid of it. Throw it in the trash. You are not a trash receptacle. Stop allowing people to dump their projections
on you.
The second thing is, because it's all about a positive spin. Listen, the second thing. So the first is identify. The second thing is understand that you have done some things. This imposter syndrome is coming up, but you need to do like we did in geometry. For those of you who took geometry, y'all remember proofs in geometry?
Yes.
I'm gonna go through a whole proof of myself.
Please. I need a refresh.
What have I done that gives me the authority and the power to say to myself, you are that person. You are that person. You've done this. You've got master's degree. Listen, you're amazing. Identify and realize you have some stuff that you've done that gives you the authority to claim your power. Stop giving it away. And the third thing is realize that you have an impact. We think we are an imposter and we're a fraud because we believe that we have zero impact. If you're a mom, you're impacting your child. If you're a business owner, you are impacting the people who are buying from you your services and consuming the things that you're putting out. If you are a CEO of a company and you are suffering from the imposter syndrome, please know, because relationships is everything. The way you behave, the way you act, and the way you behave towards others is having an impact, not just on you, on your immediate employees, but it's having a greater impact.
Say one again. What's one?
One is identify.
Okay. Two is?
Be aware and identify, right? Number two is you have done some stuff. You better start writing down all the things that you've done, all the degrees, the people that you have, helped in some way. You better write that down. And the last one is realize you have some impact. You've done some stuff.
I'm going to do that one more time.
That's my mic drop moment.
Absolutely. I love it. I absolutely love it, because all of that is so true. And I love the way we just came full circle from the beginning of the discussion about self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
Self-talk, because your positive self-talk is where you're going to get those last 3 steps from. That's your positive self-talk, and I love that. And we just came full circle with the entire show. I love that.
That's why we're here. Bring us back.
Exactly.
No, but I know that was amazing. I mean, we did cover some very, very strong points today. So we started off with our limiting beliefs. We went into superhero. We went into expectations, and then our vulnerability and power and leadership and what we are here for. And so all of that is very important today. Today was a lesson.
Yes.
Like every day.
It feels like a church service. Like we should pass a plate.
We get this all the time. That's right. We brought y'all to church.
Yes.
The spiritual one.
Yes. Yes.
And you know what? The thing is, like, if today you were moved by one thing, just one, that one is enough to change your life.
Yes, it is.
Just apply it.
Yes.
And apply it tomorrow morning. When you wake up in the morning, what is your morning routine? What is the first thing that comes in from your mouth? The first thing that you think, the first thing that you do it. And we don't impose, we suggest that you start with gratitude.
That's right.
For whatever it is that you want, start with gratitude. And that changes the whole day for you.
I don't have anything else to say. I don't have anything else to say, and I know we've come to the end of the show, so we have to end it. But these ladies will be back here next week. I mean, not next week. I'm sorry, next month.
Yes, next month.
Because we are continuing on with this series because clearly we all need it. Obviously, it's all a part of the healing journey. I just want to thank you both for being here in studio, because I know throughout the series we may not be in studio. Sometimes we may be on Zoom. But today was amazing. It felt amazing. The vibe, the energy, and everything that we were able to put forth today was absolutely amazing. And what we talked about was so awesome. I'm going to go back and listen to this myself and take notes myself, because I think we all need to, and we all just need to hear things over and over and over again, you know? So this was great. Any final thoughts from you both?
Thank you so much. I'm just going to end in gratitude. That's the way I woke up, and I'm going to just say thank you to you for the opportunity to be able to impact those followers that you have.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. And I'll end in gratitude as well. And thank you for listening, for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, for supporting, for sharing this with someone that needs it today. And just remember that things do not happen to you, they happen through you.
Ooh, and that's powerful. And I will end in gratitude, as I always do. I love you all for watching. I love you all for listening. Make sure you continue to join me here on this healing journey, and join myself and Ange and Minwei as we go along this healing journey, talking about flags and boundaries and beliefs and all of these things on a month-to-month basis. And God willing, I'll be here next week, same time, same place, different show. Love you all for watching. Love you all for listening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And we're coming back in person. Definitely.